So first, this is a view of an Altium project. You can see how the panning with the 3D mouse in a 2D environment is smooth, it's responsive. You can zoom in, you can do this during routing or review or whatever. There's no like stepping through zooms, it's all fluid. And switching over to 3D mode. Just changing some of the settings. And so this is expanding the board out so you can see all of the layers. And again, in 3D it's nice and smooth. You can rotate through all of the different axes without it stopping. So you can zoom, tilt, pan, rotate all at one time. Everything's nice and fluid. So I'm just going to rotate around a few of the components while zooming in. And you can see there's no like stopping of one function and going to the other. It's just nice and smooth, whether you're panning, zooming, whatever. Just showing some different layer schemes. So this is isolating a single layer. Same thing, nice and fluid. Scrolling through different layers. Zooming, rotating at the same time, panning. So going back to 2D, now I'm going to show the schematic environment. So we're just going to cross probe over to one of the ICs here. And in the schematic, you can do the same thing. You can zoom, pan, all at the same time. You don't have to stop one and then do the other. So you could be panning while zooming. And you can also perform whatever functions you want. If it's placing parts, drawing a wire, I'm just going to draw a wire. It's a meaningless wire, obviously, but just to show you that you can zoom out, so on long stretches, and then zoom in when you need to do something more detailed. But you can do any function very easily without making a huge process out of it. Okay, I'm going to delete that nonsense. So, different program. Now we're going to show SolidWorks using the 3D mouse. Same thing. It's obviously there's no PCB, layers or anything, but rotating, zooming, panning. It's all nice, fluid motion. There's no stuttering of the video. It's nice and smooth. And you can see the holes on the board, for example. That's another issue with the display in Xpedition. Okay, let's take a look at Xpedition. So this is Xpedition in 2D, and you can only pan with the mouse wheel, and any action or any panning or zooming requires this like jumping preset zoom levels. So if you want something in between those zoom levels, you don't get it. And the 3D mouse doesn't work at all. In the 3D mode in Xpedition, the mouse kind of works. It does allow some functions, but they're all isolated. Once you're zooming, you can't rotate. Once you're rotating, you can't pan, and so forth. Everything's tied to one axis at a time. So it makes the operation very cumbersome, clunky. And so this isn't, and there's also weird video anomalies. There's no holes displayed and just a bunch of weird stuff. There's similarities between Xpedition and pads, so I'm going to switch over to pads here. So just using their preview board, and doing anything in the 2D realm only affects the 3D window. So we're going to expand that, and kind of the same as Xpedition, it's clunky and only allows one axis, it seems. Although it may seem a little bit, maybe it's a little bit better. It's hard to tell, but it definitely doesn't feel smooth. It's a little more responsive. Maybe it's the size of the board, or I'm not sure if Xpedition and pads share the same 3D engine. Anyway, that's about it.